Now, according to Sigmund Freud, we all go through a period in our life of narcissism. Now, he called this the primary narcissism. Now, this is when we are younger, we're in our infancy, and we just think that the world is about us. We have a caregiver, and we just think that they were part here for us. We can't see that we're actually part of this kind of universal system, and this kind of, we're just a speck of dust in the cosmos, right? We can't see that side of things. We all go through this. Now, I would argue that this lasts a lot longer through childhood and into teenage years. Many of us are still or pretty much all of us are still very selfish and self-centered. We think, again, it's all about us. We just can't see the world as it is. It's not until we start to grow up that we kind of look around and we see that we're just a very small part of the world and that we're not special. Now, about 10% of the population is estimated, and some say more, some say less. It's difficult to tell because people don't get tested and people hide it very well. But about 10% of the population is kind of estimated do have these narcissistic traits that are very strong and very present in them. And they still believe that the world is here for them, and they still believe that they are special, and they don't like to be told that they're not. Now, when we look at this spectrum of narcissism, it can be very small, but it also can be very large. And there's 4 different types of narcissism that are the main types that stand out. Now, the number one that you probably have come across quite often, or the one you think of when you think of narcissism, is this grandiose, this I'm better than everyone else, and I'm larger than life, and I'm an extrovert. And this person likes to dress expensive, and they like to drive fast cars, and they like to show off their big house, and they like to go to the gym and build big muscles and all this kind of stuff, right? They're the ones on Instagram showing off their ass. They're the ones who want to have admiration all the time. They're the ones who are talking about everything. They're the know-it-alls. They act like they're superior, and they might be very charming as well, and probably kind of very great at parties and social interactions and being the center of attention. But yet they're not very good at listening to other people. If you're getting a conversation with one, they'll butt in. They'll talk about themselves, they'll make jokes, and they'll be charming and all this kind of stuff, and everyone will be laughing at them and just kind of going along with them. But actually, if to live with one can be very, very difficult, because they don't actually feel confident. They actually aren't the confident person that you're seeing. They actually are very shallow. They actually are very, just trying to hide this internal shame that they're feeling. And they do this by having to be big and having to get, the praise and the admiration all the time. Now, if you're living with one, you're not going to want to give them the praise all the time. You're not going to want to be like, oh, you're amazing, and I want to listen to that same joke over and over again. And I want to hear, that story that you keep telling me about how, amazing you were, all this kind of stuff. Right? Why would you want to hear that? You wouldn't. You will also need someone to listen to you and validate you about your day, right? Everyone does. So it can be very difficult to live with these people, and they can get very upset, like a toddler, when people aren't listening to them anymore, and they're like, why don't you want to listen to my story? And then they're going to get grumpy, and they're going to give you the silent treatment, and they're going to go through all these kind of mechanisms that are designed to hurt you and punish you for not showing them this respect that you deserve, for not seeing them in this, this pedestal, not putting them up in this beautiful way, like, wow, look at this amazing God kind of person. So that is number one. That is the grandiose narcissist, otherwise known as an overt narcissist. Now, opposite to this, you kind of have the covert narcissist, or the, this kind of, they're kind of hidden narcissist, someone who's very kind of, they act like maybe shy, they could seem like they're depressed, they might act like the world's against them, and often you find that you'll feel very sorry for them, and that's what they get their supply from. They're the opposite in the way that they get their supply, not from people telling them they're great, but people feeling sorry for them. They want people to feel like they're hard done, that they're the martyr, that they've worked so hard, and they're very special, but they've just never been seen. And they want people to tell them that, look at you, and we're sorry for you, and it's not your fault. And they kind of thrive off this kind of attention. They might lie about being depressed. They might lie about being suicidal, that kind of thing. Now, not saying that you should ever say to someone, you're not suicidal or you're not depressed, because obviously we can't diagnose that with someone. But these are the kind of tactics that they might say to try and keep you from leaving them, for instance. You might be like, I've had enough of this person, but I can't leave them because they're pulling at my heartstrings all the time. They give me this whole sob story about how their family's against them, about how their friends just, never call them and always leave them out, and how it's unfair. And you're like, well, I don't want to be that person. I'm going to take care of you. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for someone to mother them and show them that kind of nurturing side that they probably never got. They can also be very sensitive and very passive aggressive. So if you say something to them, they could react like, why are you saying that to me? How dare you? I've done all this for you. I work so hard. And yet you're just trying to give them some kind of feedback because you think you're kind of working together on this journey. Maybe you're at work with them, or you're running the household together, and you're going, hey, like maybe if you tried it this way. And they're like, wow, I'm really upset because you said that. How can you say that to me? You don't respect me. They can get really kind of hurt by just the sensitive little things, and they can really kind of react to that. Also, they're very passive aggressive. So their jokes could be kind of, like belittling people in a way, that kind of saying that, oh, you're just a bit sensitive of when I'm putting you down and you shouldn't take it so seriously, because they can be very sarcastic and they can be very kind of snarky in their kind of comments. Now, this is designed to, make you feel inferior to them, because they want to be, same as any narcissist, they want to feel that they are above others. And they do this by saying, I'm above others, but I've just had a hard luck in life, and that's why I've never made it. And that's why I'm just, not as special as some of these other people. It's just like, well, I would have done, but everyone's been against me. Life's been against me. I've just not had the luck that you've had. Now, next you have the communal narcissist. Now, the communal narcissist, these people are often involved in charities. They may be running their church. They may be running, events. They're doing this kind of stuff, and they tell everyone about it as well. They're not doing it behind the scenes. They're doing it and then posting it on Instagram. They're doing it and then telling everyone about it. They're bragging about it. They're the billionaires who are, CEOs, but then they have this charity and they're saying to everyone, oh, I've got a charity. Check out my charity. It does such an amazing work. It's in their name kind of thing. It's like their foundation. Because for them, it's like they're going to get a lot of praise from being this kind of person who's really kind, and that's the way they want to be seen. That's the image that they're trying to mold. It's very much an image management kind of system where they're acting as if they are just a very nice person, trying to be the opposite of who they really are behind closed doors. And the sad thing about this is people behind the closed doors, their family, their friends, their partners, their lovers, they often see a different side of them. Now, sometimes the friends might see this person, or their acquaintances might see that this person is, doing all these things, and then their children, they might be complaining about them, or their wife or their husband might be complaining that at home they're just not like this, and people will be like, oh, come on, you got to give this person a break. They're such nice people. They're doing so much work. Of course, they're going to be a little bit, tired behind the scenes, because people can't believe that this person that does all this and is stupidly nice to everyone is going to be such an asshole behind the scenes. They're going to be such a bad person, or manipulative and toxic behind the scenes. But actually, they are. But when you get in a relationship with a communal narcissist, they often find it hard to continue being nice every day. So you'll see their true colors come out. Now, of course, out of all the types of narcissism, if anyone's going to put on a show, I'd prefer to see many people put on the show and start charities and give money to homeless people, give money to causes that matter, even if they are doing it for their own, ego. That doesn't matter to me. I'm very happy for people to put out different charities and do good stuff. Like, the more do good thing you can do, brilliant, do it. That's not an issue for me. It's, what's an issue is them hurting people behind the scenes, because they're showing this kind of Jekyll and Hyde character and kind of hiding the negative. And finally, we have the malignant narcissist. And the malignant narcissist, if you think of the spectrum from, kind of empathy to narcissism, they are on the far side, very close to, that's a kind of dark triad, as it were, with the sociopaths and the psychopaths. the kind of Machiavellian characters, these very much kind of what you would kind of class as evil, willing to hurt people for their own good. Now, that's the malignant narcissist. They are not necessarily psychopaths, not necessarily sociopaths, but they are willing to, do what it takes to get what they want. They might be quite grandiose, they might be more covert, but they are malignant in the sense that they have very little or zero empathy nearly, that they're willing to take people down just to bring themselves up. They will try all sorts of manipulation. They're willing to cheat, lie, steal, whatever it takes. It doesn't matter because they're so focused on them being so special. And these malignant narcissists, they are the ones who will turn to really abusive language, but also to violence. And they are the ones that you need to be aware of, you need to be careful of, because these people do not see you in any way or have the rules that maybe others do. So be so aware if you're coming across someone who you think might be a malignant narcissist. They don't see you as anything other than an object, as a tool. Now, I hope this video helped you to get some idea and some understanding on the 4 different types of narcissists. And as we said, there's many different types, many different combinations of narcissists. Now, if you're experiencing life with a narcissist right now, write in the comments what you're experiencing and what type of narcissist you are dealing with.